Dreaming. It's the foundation of all great human ideas, inventions, and innovations. Dreaming is what drives our species to exceed what we see around us and look to something bigger, even when it seems impossible at the time. After all, how can you achieve something initially thought to be out of reach without even having the dream to establish it? Let's put a spotlight on the most important way to dream, and that's doing it big, shameless, and proud. You might initially think that dreaming big is a lost cause. Maybe you're scared of taking that risk. Let's flip the perception of that. Across history, the major successes have come from dreams that were into the stratosphere. The steam engine, the first airplane, or even the first computer was all primitive, clunky technology. The innovation could have easily ended there, as they worked and did what they were invented for, but the human instinct to dream beyond what we see led us to innovate. And now we have advanced diesel engines, sleek and quick jets, and unbelievably powerful computers in our pockets. Shatter that perception of big dreams being unrealistic, and instead argue to yourself that small dreams are unrealistic. That risk will always be a deterrent, of course, but without taking risks, there's little chance for huge growth in your life in any aspect. The comfort zone is a powerful concept, it really is. You're residing in what you know and what you can predict, and it's so easy to just remain there for as long as you can. Sure, you can get by coasting on what life throws at you if you want. It comes down to what you want from your life. The path splits here between the optimists and the pessimists, the dreamers and the objectivists. Do you want to break the boundaries and dream big? Or would you rather dream comfortably and stay within your conventions? The fate of a dream doesn't matter nearly as much as the prospect of having one at all does. Dreaming big is an essential part of the human experience. As creatures, we naturally want to satisfy our aspirations and have initially lofty goals. Even as a kid, dreaming of being able to fly or teleport, anything of the extreme, was an early form of this. As kids, we dreamt about what we could do in a fantasy world, and as adults, we dream about what we can do in this world. But why dream big? Again, having smaller, more realistic ones always seems more feasible and worth the time, so why not just focus on those? Plus, huge dreams oftentimes don't come true, so why even bother? We feel comfortable where we are, so why try to push the envelope? That's exactly right. Sometimes those dreams won't come true, and sometimes it will feel like a waste of time or too unrealistic. This is exactly the case with smaller dreams. They, too, have a chance of failing, and we have a chance of failing in any aspect of our lives at any given moment. If we start with big dreams, we either reach them or maybe even have them shaven down a bit. But if we start with smaller dreams, they could be shaven down far beyond what you initially wanted. In negotiations, the best course of action is to begin higher than what you really want, so you can settle around what you actually aimed for. If you're coming to the negotiation table offering your end goal, it'll be driven down below. So yes, dreaming big and even unrealistic is something we should strive to do. Instead of dreaming to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, you dream for 1 million. And that can propel you past the real goal of 100,000. Whereas if you start with the real goal, maybe you don't reach even half of it. The other reason we should dream big is for our mental health. A delta between expectations and outcomes will always be a hit to our heads, but we can adjust that spectrum by dreaming big. When we do this, both expectations and outcomes will be shifted more positively. This isn't to say there won't be a disappointment, as usually dreaming big doesn't always lead to the exact goal you were striving for. As the saying goes, if you shoot for the moon, maybe you'll reach it, and if not, you'll end up among the stars. When you dream big, you'll be so much better off purely by setting your goals higher. So, what's the conclusion? We've gone back and forth about dreaming big or not doing it, the pros and cons. which should you do? As mentioned, it really comes down to what you want your future to look like. We have a lot more power over how our lives turn out than we like to admit sometimes. And this is one of the many knobs we can turn to turn the heat up. If you want a comfortable life and one that's predictable, reliable, and conventional, feel free to dream smaller. However, if you're the growing population that feels like they're worth something more than a normal existence, then dream big. Stop worrying about what others think about it and set your goals in the cosmos, while everyone else stays back on Earth, because that's how living a dynamic life is. You must be ready for anything and prepared to adapt at a moment's notice. It may be out of your comfort zone and it may seem intimidating, but rest assured, dreaming big is the key to a more energized, fluid, and higher-reaching life.